It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. Yo, man. Boom is Rusty. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Public Access Podcast, the podcast here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. I'm your host, Rusty. What's up? What's up? What's up? That's how we talk every time. This 640 before this, there's been some variation of that. So we're on to 641. It's time for me to bring out my special guest. And my special guest is right here and right now. And my special guest is Jennifer Powell. Jennifer Powell, welcome.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Okay, so I've found some wild shit at thrift stores. Have you ever found anything weird at a thrift store? Have you ever gone to a thrift store and found anything, or is that anything you ever do?
I have actually. I was actually in 5 Points in Atlanta, and there's just some crazy thrift stores out there. And we had found some really, really interesting things there. Like stuff we would never have expected at a thrift store at all.
Like stuff you cannot say on the.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking it was. I'm like, it's probably something she can't say. Like if that's what she found, like okay. So there's sometimes things that I found like that of things you can't really say, but it's like I feel like Indiana Jones or something. Like this belongs in a museum. I can't just let this not be here. I got to grab it. Like someone's got to know that this exists somewhere in the world. And but then there's a whole thing about like whatever you get, like there's a lot of energy and shit that's in it too, like that you're taking on. You don't know where it is, especially when it's something sort of like that. You're like, well, wait, like do I want to have this? Or like how fucked are museums? Some museums got to be weird. Like I haven't been in a museum with that thought in my head until just right now, but I don't know if I want to go.
Everything has a story, right? So, and every piece of that goes through every part of everybody's family has some kind of history to it. And it's kind of a fun thing because I've lived all over the world. And one of my kind of cool things is I live in hotels. Yeah, I know it's like a weird thing, but I actually enjoy it. And I try to find like really historical places to go to that have a real history behind it.
So what is something you have experienced with that? Like, has there been anything where you're like, oh yeah, this is something really fucking weird happened here? Or because I mean some of them, they probably told you some stories, or you have seen stories that you have researched beforehand online, or maybe in a book.
I mean, I've read stories. I've been on like the Queen Anne over in Long Beach, and the Palmer House in Chicago. But there are always stories. I haven't seen anything, but it's just the idea of it is kind of cool. And you keep looking, if nothing else.
And so, like, is that like where you're wanting to stay then? If you have the option, is that you're going for like, is that what your first thing that you, first criteria?
Okay, so it's kind of a weird story, right? About 5.5 years ago, I did actually live like a normal person, had a normal home, all that good stuff. And then I was married, and we were building a house, and they stopped the build because of different reasons. And then COVID hit, and they weren't building. And so I was living in a hotel with my husband at the time, and we ended up they just never continued building our home. So we continued living in hotels, and then instead we decided once COVID opened up, we actually traveled the entire US, lived all over the country. And then we jumped onto a cruise ship, lived on a cruise ship for over a year, and then came back and just decided to go back into hotels. And never get a place again.
It seems like the way to do it. I saw someone on TikTok I don't want to fucking blow up your spot here and have everyone
Yeah.
going to run to do this now. But I mean, at a hotel, you don't like you can get weekly, monthly rates at hotels, and you also then don't have to do nearly. It's like easier than living in an apartment.
Oh, I haven't cleaned a bathroom in 5.5 years.
Yeah, you don't like just about that. For that alone, that has to cost something. So, like, do they? If you have a weekly or monthly stay at a hotel, do they come in every day or do they only come? See, that's fucking cool. Like, it's
Yep.
just like that's totally fucking worth it right there. And then you're probably paying less than you would for a mortgage. And
And I don't pay for toiletries, and I get points for my stay. I have all of the amenities of a hotel, a 4 and 5 star hotel.
oh
And,
yeah,
and if I don't like my neighbors, they're gone in 4 and 5 days. It's fantastic.
that's exactly true. And I mean, yeah, you don't have to worry about, oh, I got the neighbors that we fucking hate, and I don't know, I'm gonna try to outlive them here because I like the place, but it's not going to be that long. It's going to be a little, a short amount of time than possibly forever until either one of you dies first, and then you can go over and piss on the other person's grave or whatever you want to do. Like,
Exactly. I
yeah,
don't have that. And I also like when people are at hotels, it's kind of funny whether they're there for business or they're there for pleasure. 90% of the time, they're in a good mood because they're not at home.
right.
Like they're at the bar, they're talking to people, they're more social, they're just happy to be not in the same place, not at work, not at somewhere. So it's actually kind of a nice feeling to be in that situation.
Do you stay at places with pools or hot tubs? Is that something, or continental breakfast? Or
I have a pool. This hotel has pool, has a 10,000 square foot gym, has sauna, and
oh,
has a bar, restaurant, speakeasy.
whoa,
And
uh,
then 4 days a week, they play live music in the lounge.
that sounds great.
So
Uh, so you got free entertainment then too, as well as every other amenity. Just like, oh, I'm gonna go down and see the live band playing.
exactly.
Wow. Okay. And then
And no,
yeah,
I don't have continental breakfast here, but I do get with status because you get status staying at hotels, right? And
right.
the particular status for this hotel actually gives me points towards free food and beverages every day.
Cool. So do you have a certain hotel chain that you stay at, or do you see if you stay at unique one-off spots, you might
Uh,
not get those, but do you have like
Actually, most of my time I spend at Hilton's or Marriott's, but most of the time I'm the
choice?
highest level of Hilton for the
That's that's a nice way to stay. And you have a Christmas tree in there.
Yeah, so that's mine actually. So is the wine rack. So there's a few things that I
Cool.
bring along with me that are just for me.
Do you have a storage unit then somewhere, or do you have a
Uh, no, my suite is actually like a little over 1,740 square feet. So I've got a storage area right in my suite.
1,700 square
Mhm.
feet?
Yep.
That's bigger than apartments.
Some of them, yeah, especially the city.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fucking great. That's okay. And then yeah, then you have someone that comes in every day and fucking cleans it.
Every single day.
What do you do when during that time? Are there ever days where you're like put a do not disturb sign on,
Of course.
or
Yeah. I put up every once in a while. I'll put up a do not disturb sign on, but for the most part, I mean, unless I'm doing something, they just come in, they clean around me. I don't have to go anywhere or do anything.
cool? Do you so I don't know,
Oh,
it's
and I get points for
bizarre.
my stay, so I can stay other places for free all over the world.
So then what do they say, like, because when you come up to a place, I assume you probably get pretty good service with you being. They're like, oh, thank you for your, you know,
Level.
diamond, uh, diamond level
No.
commitment to this place. Um, Ms. Powell, fucking great to see you again. Here's a complimentary, um, I don't know, whatever,
So
complimentary.
I've gotten complimentary spa services, massages, brownies. I always get water and snacks and sometimes dinners, sometimes alcohol, sometimes it depends on where I'm at. But yeah, and then if at certain hotels, I'm on concierge level, so I get free food and drinks all day.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay for water. You don't have to pay for heating, cooling. You don't have to pay for internet,
Toiletries, internet.
toiletries.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's
If a
whatever.
if a light bulb goes down, I make a phone call. I don't have to buy a light bulb. I don't have to buy batteries.
Yeah. So, yeah, that sounds great. So, okay, so I'm just, how was it the first time where you're like, you stay for a, maybe a couple days, and you're like, well, let's see if we can stay for a week or something, and then let's see if we can stay for a month, or did it just sort of go into
No,
that, or?
it really was because we were building a house and we sold our
Oh, okay,
place,
right.
and so we knew we were going to be stuck in the hotel for like 2 months was what we were originally supposed to be in. That turned into 6 months. That turned into 5.5 years later. I'm still in a hotel.
So did you go to a like extended stay place, or like what was the first place you stayed at? Because I know that when I was a little kid, we stayed at this place for like a month or two because our house wasn't ready and we were moving from the East Coast to the West Coast.
So
Yeah.
yeah, to answer your question, the first place that we stayed in was actually a two-part hotel in Georgia. And it was the one side was a four-star hotel. The other side was actually more of an extended stay version of that four-star hotel.
Okay.
It wasn't a Hilton property. It was actually a high-end Sonesta property. And so the suite we did have was a one-bedroom suite. It had a full kitchen, living
Well,
room, dining room, and then a bedroom separate of it. Um, from there, I've stayed at Homewood Suites, Hilton properties, regular properties, Marriott properties, Bonvoys, um, and then now I'm not in extended stays anymore. No, I'm just in suites.
so when do you decide when it's time to go? You just feel it out, and wherever you land, and you go there, and you're like, well, I guess I'm done here. Um, let's, or you start getting to a point where like, yeah, I don't know what you're doing in Chicago in fucking December. Like, I'd be somewhere hot right now.
So I had some medical issues, and they had some great doctors here in Chicago that I needed to be part of.
Okay.
One, I
Well,
was being treated at Rush Memorial, and so the one who created that particular surgery I needed actually was there. That's why I came to Chicago,
whoa. Okay.
and
Um,
that went successfully. And I'm still doing some rehab from it, but I also have some work here that I'm doing for some projects for my actual job, and I'm sticking it out for a little bit longer. I've got some friends here that I'm hanging out with, and then I'll decide. And I actually really like Chicago, as much as the weather is not the greatest this time of year.
sure.
This is a great city.
What do you like doing there? Where do you, or how do you get around? I guess those are my two questions.
So I don't have a car here. I'm in the center of the loop. I literally take all public transportation or Uber and Lyft. But for the most part, I've got a Venture card, which is like $75 unlimited, and you just take every kind of train, bus, subway system, or I
Yeah.
just walk everywhere, literally, because it's a very walkable city.
So what happens when you need to go out of town? Because is
Rent a
that when you hit?
car, or yeah, I mean, there's trains that go out of the city as well. So take those. I also take buses that go out of the city, but I'll rent a car, or I'll fly wherever I need to go.
Yeah.
And then I rent
And,
a car when I get to wherever I'm going.
and I mean, where you are right now, like you could go, I mean, anywhere pretty easily, like
I get
either
two
Midway or
airports.
O'Hare. Like they go anywhere. They go to fucking small airports. They go fucking probably direct to anywhere in the world or close to it.
Between the two airports, I literally go direct anywhere. On Monday, I'm actually flying to Austria. I'm flying direct to Venice from
Oh
O'Hare.
shit.
So Vienna, excuse me, Vienna from O'Hare. So for my
Yeah.
Christmas.
See, that sounds like the way to do it because that's going to be. Wait, so what's the date? On what date are you going?
I'm leaving on Monday. I'm flying into Vienna, and then I'm actually going on a riverboat. And
A
yeah,
riverboat cruise?
yeah, I'm
Uh,
doing Christmas markets across Europe.
is
Off the
that
Danube.
on the Danube?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just going to listen to the song over and over? The Blue
Oh yeah,
Danube Waltz?
of course I know. But no, I'm going to Austria, Germany, and then I'm spending like 4 days in Prague, and I'll be in Prague over Christmas.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I figured they just play that over the loudspeakers the whole time you're on the cruise on repeat. So okay, so you're going to be in Czech Republic
Yeah.
during Christmas.
Well, I did Thanksgiving in California, so my nose is actually peeling. I actually got sunburned. But my family's out there now.
Where'd you go? In California.
So I flew into LA and I actually went into Orange County. My family's out in Orange County. And spent some time at Newport Beach. And
all right. That sounds like an all right way to get around there. Go down and get a frozen banana on there's always money in the banana stand, so that's you got to do that Newport Beach stuff. And so okay, so then you went there and you got a bit of sun, and then now you're going to Czech Republic to. Do you have friends over there, or to?
I have friends in Austria and Germany actually, so I'm gonna see them while I'm over there.
Where'd you meet them? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. So I lived on a cruise ship for a year.
Oh, right.
So I traveled all over the world anyway. So I have friends all over the world. But then on top of that, I work with international corporations and some domestic companies that work internationally. Like I'm partnered with IBM and NetSuite, Oracle, and Salesforce, and so I know all these people from all over the world that I've met at different exchanges and events that we're part of.
Okay, so yeah, now that video that I showed you, like,
I was even funnier.
I don't know yet, and I think one of those people is still in there, I believe. Yeah.
Well, I said I went to the tech exchange for IBM.
And so where was that?
That was in Orlando this past year.
Okay, right.
It was in the summer in Orlando, and I spent like 4 days at the tech exchange down there, and then I flew over to San Francisco and I went to the Apollo event.
What was at the Apollo?
So the Apollo is the name of the company. They're an Anthropic product.
Okay.
So I flew over to. I had to go to 2 different events within a week, and so I cut my time at IBM short, and I left there like a day and a half early, and I went and flew direct to San Francisco to be at an all-day event for Apollo I/O.
Okay, all right. And then you went back to Chicago. You went to Chicago then after that, or was there?
No, I had another event I had to attend in Boston for Clio.
Okay, so you went boom, 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 and flying on back and forth.
Well, it was a long couple months. I was flying all over the place. I was in Scottsdale with Thrive Keep. I was in, I was at the Clio event. I was at the IBM event. I was at the Zoho event a couple months before that in Texas.
Okay. So then when you're on an airplane, because I mean, you're probably spending a good fair amount of time at airports, airplanes, do you have a rolly bag, or do you have a some sort of like carry over your shoulder thing or a backpack, or like how fucking dead on, like, and accurate, and like set with, like, everything that needs to go with you, or do you bring still a bunch of stuff and just hope for the best? Or
No, I'm actually, as far as packing goes, I'm pretty much a pro at that one. I
I bet.
usually, like most people, it takes them days and they repack and do all this extra packing, or else have extra stuff with them. I do not. I Depending on how long I'm going to be, or how many places I have to be, and how many different weathers I have to be in.
Right.
I know exactly what I need to pack, and I usually pack the morning I leave.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All
So,
right.
or the night
That
before,
works.
if I'm out at like a 3 o'clock, sometimes I take the first flight out, and
Yeah.
so I'm usually at the airport at 3 a.m. So I'll pack like at midnight the night before, and then catch like 2 hours of sleep before I get a car service.
It's nice doing the first flight, much like it is nice doing the first doctor's appointment, because you're not going to have delays. Most likely you still can, but I mean, that's your best chance of not having delays.
Yeah, as
It's
long as the weather holds up, you're in good shape. Coming out of Chicago, there's always a 50-50 on that one
sure.
at this time of year.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then to be honest with you, I was that whole time I was traveling this year, there was a lot of delays because of the government shutdown.
Oh,
Um,
right.
we had a
I
lot
forgot
of
about that.
TSA issues and a lot of air traffic control issues. So I was delayed and or rerouted multiple times during that. I had 16 flights, and of the 16, I got delayed on 14 of them.
How were people at that time? How were people there reacting? How were you reacting? What was the feel of the place, of the airports you were in, when there were these inconveniences happening for people?
I'll be really honest with you. I've flown for most of my adult life with business. And so there's always situations where I've been delayed or have been rerouted, or weather somewhere, or maintenance issues somewhere. So it's not something that I've ever, it happens and you have to deal with it. And you kind of, I mean, it's not like there's anything you can do
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
at the end of
Oh,
the day.
hey,
So
Jennifer here at O'Hare said you guys are taking too long. How about you get some of those people to come fucking start the plane up for her and just let her go on the runway first out. Like, she's
yeah,
got places to be.
there's not much you can do about it. So at the end of the day, I mean, you bite the bullet, they're doing the best they can, especially with the situation that we all knew was happening. And it wasn't like we didn't all know that it was happening.
Right.
And at the end, there's really not much you can do. Don't get me wrong. I have slept at airports because of delays. I have been stuck in countries because of delays. Like the worst, I think one of my worst delays was I was stuck in England for 4 days
Oh,
because
shit.
my flights, because of weather that was happening in the U.S. I was trying to get back to Florida, and they were actually going during the one of the major storms.
Oh.
So I couldn't fly home. So I was literally stuck in a hotel in Gatwick. Like,
So what'd you do then at the hotel? Were you just like, oh, it's just like me being at home? Because I mean, like, how different are hotels if you don't leave? Um, like you're in a room with stuff. Is that kind of what it feels like sometimes? You're just like, I'm in a room with stuff. Some of the stuff is mine, but not a lot of it. I mean, it's got to be like, pretty all right too.
well, I
Like,
mean, I've been at this hotel since April, and
yeah.
I have touches all over the place. So if you walked into my suite, it's like I did add things to it. I have candles. I've got a wine rack. I've got Christmas ornaments. I've got knickknacks. I've got it at my own desk. I mean, there's stuff in here that belongs to me. As far as everything else, I'm not. Unlike a lot of people, I'm not a big acquirer of stuff. I used to be. I used to have great furniture and artwork and everything else. And then when I went on the cruise ship, I realized I didn't really care that I had any of it. And
Yeah.
so at the end of the day, I mean, I've got a comfortable place to sit. I've got a couch. I've got a living room. I've got 2 bathrooms. I've got a separate bedroom. I've got an office area. I mean, I've got everything that you would have in an apartment, except for maybe a full kitchen at this place. But it's everything else.
So then, what's your kitchen? Do you have?
Okay, so I don't have I have a kitchenette area in this hotel. But I brought a few of my own things. So I've got an air fryer, I've got a pizza maker, a crock pot. They gave me the microwave and the Keurig.
Nice. Okay. And
I
so,
love my air fryer.
yeah, I bet. And so, like, okay, when you go out of town, do you check out or do you? Okay, so you can just
Treat it
leave
like an
everything right
apartment.
there.
I never check out. I put the do not disturb sign on. Well, actually, the house cleaners know that when I go out, I tell them before, and they clean it one more time the day that I leave, and then they put the do not disturb sign on, and I take that off when I come back.
Cool. Yeah, that works out pretty well, and that's got to feel nice.
It does. I mean, everything's set up, everything's clean, everything's ready for me when I get back.
Yeah. Um, all right.
It's a different way of living, and I admit it's a crazy way of living, but it also gives me
It's
some freedom. Like whenever I want to just get up and go and do someplace or go somewhere, I can. I literally can decide tomorrow I want to go to, well, yeah, I mean, literally I'm going to Austria, but on January 1st, I could turn around and be like, okay, I'm ready to go to New York or Boston or California or Texas or Oregon or wherever in the world I want to go. I want to spend ski season up in the mountains. I want to go to the beach in the middle of winter. I want to go to a foreign country. I just do it.
Yeah, that's really smart. That's it's a good way to get around.
And I mean, you're catered to 24/7, and it's just kind of a nice way of living. You don't have to worry about pretty much anything at all. I mean, right down to your laundry, right? I put my laundry in a bag. They come up, they pick it up. I get it back completely folded the next day and ready to hang up.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay, that's worth a lot right there. And okay, so then okay, how does tipping work when you are in an extended stay? Does that change then? Or I mean, because that seems like
So
that
if I need help, like I have boxes or I have stuff I have to bring up or things like that, all the staff knows me by name. They don't like I tip when I want to tip, but most of them don't even accept my tips. They just are like, hey, whatever you need, just give me a call.
okay.
That's kind of the way it is after a while. And
Yeah,
everybody literally says hi to me, knows me by name, stops to talk to me. I'm kind of part of their
that's
family.
yeah, that sounds
And they
pretty all
watch out for
right.
me. So if someone's bothering me or I'm in a situation where they think I'm being bothered, they're right there helping me.
Yeah. Um, okay, that's an all right way to get around. And so,
And then you go down to the bar, the lounge, the restaurants, and you sit down and they bring your drink without even asking because they know what you like. They know your allergies. They know you never have
that's
to worry
fine.
about any of that stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to have everyone doing that, but why aren't more people doing that? What's the hold on?
Well, people have families, kids, dogs, pets. They want to live in a house. They want to have a yard. They need to be near a school system. They've got family that they're working with or dealing with. There's all different reasons. I think for me that it gave me I have a lot of freedom because I don't have children. I don't have pets. So I have a lot more freedom than a lot of people. Also, I have a job that allows me to do that. I can be anywhere in the world and work. And that's something I know a lot of people have remote jobs, but a lot have gone back to offices. And I don't have that need to go into an office if I don't want to.
It's crazy that people went back to offices. It's absolutely fucking insane.
I agree.
Um, I
The
don't know
overhead
why you
alone.
would. Yeah, right. The overhead alone is like, I don't know what it is. If it's like a morale kind of thing, or if nobody was doing shit, or I had that happen at some job I was doing. I was doing a data entry job, and they made it remote, and then nobody was doing their shit, so they brought everyone back in, and I was pissed off. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going back to just working at my fucking store. Like, I was doing it like as a side gig, and like, because I could do it from wherever, and I could be doing other shit, and it was just data entry. I'm like, okay, well, make a few bucks this way. And then they're like, yeah, no one's doing anything. So like, I went back into this office with a whole bunch of like kids that were like, I mean, they weren't kids, they were like early 20s, but talking about God knows what. And like, I can put my headphones on, but like, that's still like, I just want to do my work. And I don't want to deal with all this extra shit if I don't need to. I don't want to fucking drive to the place. I don't want to, I just want to fucking start my day, and then at the end of the day just turn it off.
Yeah. I mean, I've been remote for 21 years. How about
Oh
that?
shit.
And so I kind of and then before that, I traveled when I was with corporate. I traveled so much. I had 100,000 miles of airplane miles a year. So I was
Whoa.
never in the office anyway. Um, so I've always worked kind of. I've had an office and I've worked in it occasionally, but I've been traveling around like this for my entire adult life. I don't know any other way of doing it. I don't know any other way of living, to be honest. And the joke is, I grew up in a house where I stayed in the same house until I was 18 years old. I mean, literally, this wasn't the life I knew.
Yeah.
I lived in the suburbs, and but this is the world I ended up walking into during college, and I never came back.
I don't really need to.
No.
You can dip your toes back in if you want to at some point, and then this is,
We'll see. I don't know if I want the responsibility of owning a home anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
For me, because I don't have the kids and the pets and things like that, I don't really want to have to change light bulbs and have to worry about things breaking and calling plumbers and
Yeah. Would you go to do this in another country where you get more bang for your buck?
oh, I have.
Um,
I've done it all over the world. Actually, my favorite hotel is there's a Conrad in Kyoto, Japan that I really like.
ooh.
Um, but I've stayed in hotels in Amsterdam. Those were fun. I've done this in London. I've done this in um, actually the Azores were really cool. Portugal, that was awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Barcelona.
Whoa. And
So
so do you get ones ever with, because you had it on the cruise, but do you get ones that have, all the food you can eat?
oh yeah, there's a place in Mexico I stay. A long-term stay that's all inclusive resort as well. So everything's included: entertainment, the food, the alcohol.
So,
Everything's.
so at the end of the day, would the all-inclusive be worth it, or would it? Is it like sort of it's all right, it's cool that I have it, but I wouldn't make that something that I'd want?
Oh no, having an all-inclusive is a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
mean, to always eat and do and have the entertainment included, have all your alcohol, all of your everything included is not a bad thing. What you got to get used to though is because you have all this stuff included at your place, you kind of remember you have to leave it sometimes. Like
Right.
you want to explore. So
Yeah.
me, I'm one of those people that I go everywhere in the city. I love music. I love live events. This is a great city for that. This one particularly. uh, especially in the spring and summertime. But even during the year, there's so many great live music venues here and sports venues that I really enjoy going to.
Sure. Um, and so then you said you're walking, or you buy monthly metro passes
Yeah,
and such. Yeah.
I just
I mean,
travel wherever, and the metro pass is literally unlimited, so you can be hopping on and off all over the city.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, if that's what I was doing, like in Portland. I had that forever. I didn't have a car for 8 years, and I just would get the monthly
Yeah,
Metro Pass and get everywhere I needed to get to, and walked everywhere I couldn't get to.
exactly.
Um,
And then
yeah,
there's always Lyft and Uber when the weather's bad.
right. They at one point when I was living there, they had um, the ride share cars. I don't know if ride share that's the right word.
The Toros and those, like the ones where you use the zip cars.
Yeah, like the zip cars. And they had the little tiny cars. That were like
The
this
Fiat
big.
ones.
Yeah. Uh, but I went in it, like they're huge because they don't have a back seat. Like I was in
They're
there
actually
with my
kind of comfortable. They're weirdly comfortable.
yeah. I had my buddy who was like 6'5", 250 or something around there, and I'm like 6 foot, like 180, 190, and like it was so comfortable, and there's all this headroom and shit, and we're like, how do we both fit in this thing? Like we thought we would be
I
all
know.
hunched up, but
They
it's like
look
this
like
is
clown cars.
yeah, it's so comfortable. I thought about getting one of those, but I mean they were spendy, but I mean they were fun to drive around. It was cool, and then you just pay just whatever to unlock it, and then just per mile, and then you leave it somewhere, and you're good, and you go find one. But they stopped doing that in a lot of places. They're really hard to come by now. I don't know where they still do it, but you can do the Turo. I've done that before, and I think I've done that 1 or 2 times, and that's been pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
still have Zipcar here. They still have Toro here.
cool.
Um, I, I I have a corporate account with Enterprise, so I just kind of make a
Okay,
call and rent a car when I need one, and
yeah, like well, I
that
got to get
works.
out of town.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I've rented cars and driven to. I like to go to bourbon tasting in Kentucky, so I've rented a car and driven down to do the bourbon tastings. I've driven up to Canada and gone to Toronto and Niagara, and
oh, okay, that's not a bad deal. Go do a little extra sightseeing and yeah, get out on the
well,
open road.
I love the city. I love staying in the city. There's so much to do all over, and it's a very large city to do it in because there's a lot of different communities. But at the same time, it's nice to just get out and take a drive somewhere and go to a national park or go to dunes or go skiing or do something else. I'm all for that. And I told you that we were talking before this, and I one of the first things we did right after COVID, when things opened up for us, I mean, we bought an SUV and we literally drove around the country like 3 times, lived all over the
Well,
country.
yeah, that's not a bad way to get around.
It was great actually, and because it was still parts of the country were still closed for COVID and things like that, there was nobody on the road. It was crazy how easy it was to get around to places.
That was my favorite part about COVID was I was up most of the time in southern Minnesota, like and it was great. And Iowa never closed down. Iowa stayed the same the whole time. Never once was there a day you had to do anything. You never had to wear a mask. You never had to. Um, no businesses shut down at all. Like everything was just business as usual. So I mean, like,
I
and
was
that
in Georgia when it first happened, and so it did
okay,
shut down, and we were quarantined for only like a month and a half. It was one of the shortest quarantines of anywhere in the country,
yeah,
and we were my husband and I were actually vaccinated pretty early on.
okay,
And so once we were vaccinated, we literally were allowed to go wherever we wanted to go in the country. because we had our vaccination cards and we could literally go anywhere.
Yeah.
And that included when the cruise ships opened up, we jumped on the first cruise ships.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I had to get out. Like, and I mean, it was weird going into these places that still, like, going back to Portland was fucking weird. Like, leaving.
I was there during COVID, and
Oh shit!
So I was in Portland. I was in California. I was actually,
Yeah.
Portland was really strange.
Same with San Francisco.
San Francisco, the whole area where that the financial district and the Broadway district, that theater district, was all boarded up, and it was crazy weird. And then I was actually on Pier 39, and it was a ghost town.
Yeah, it was really fucking odd. I feel like, I think I was in San Francisco at the tail end of it, like when it was kind of opened up everywhere else. But Portland, I was there in when was that? I think I was there a couple times, like in 2021, maybe something like that. When and it was just bizarre. I don't know. It was. I mean, it's been a bizarre place. But
I mean, all those areas were really, really bizarre during that period of time. I mean, everything. If you wanted to go get anything to eat, especially like in San Francisco, there was no outside eating or inside eating. You could pick up food, but you had to leave.
Yeah. Just everything became fast food, basically.
I'll give you this much, because nobody was staying at the hotels anywhere in the entire country or world. You were automatically upgraded from a basic room to a suite because nobody else was there. So it's kind of nice.
That sounds awesome.
Problem is, we ate every meal in it because you couldn't eat anywhere.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But so then the cruise, where were you going on the cruise? Would you do the cruise for a year for?
Okay, so that was not intentional. When we first got on, we had a place in Mexico, an all-inclusive we were going to go stay at. And they called us up one day and said, hey, we have got this big party that would like to buy out the rooms. What if we give you a cruise instead? You do the cruise, we'll pay you a little extra money, and we'll take your rooms at the all-inclusive. We'll even upgrade you, give you the alcohol package, the whole 9 yards. Balcony and alcohol package. So we're like, all right, let's do it. So we got on the cruise ship, and it was a 7-day Mexican Riviera, selling Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo.
Nice.
And it was the first time my husband had ever been on a cruise, ironically.
Was that out of Long Beach?
It was out of Long Beach, yeah.
Carnival?
It was actually the Panorama, the new one at the time. It was the Panorama. They just launched the Panorama.
All right. I went on that cruise in 2003.
Yeah, but this was the new ship, because they had actually launched the ship right before COVID, but then it shut down, so no one would have ever been on the ship before. And so we were on the first voyage of the ship. So it was amazing being on a brand new ship, right?
Yeah.
And we did that, and it was funny. On our way back, we had a blast. On the way back, they had just reclosed Hawaii during COVID, and this other ship was in Long Beach waiting to go to Hawaii. And so instead they were going to reroute it, but everybody canceled, but they still had all the staff. The food was all on board. So they sent a message to everybody on that. We're like, hey, we'll give you a suite for $150 for 5 days. Will you jump on this ship? As long as you can get a COVID test done, you can be on this ship tomorrow. And so we were like, we ended up driving half the state of California looking for a COVID test. and we got it, though. We actually made it and made it back to the ship, and we jumped on for another 5 days, going to another set of ports. And while we were on that, this other ad came up for this year-long trip and on Royal Caribbean, and we're like, why don't we do it? And the only thing is, he'd never, as I said, this was only his second trip ever, so there was no real reason for him to agree. So I said, well, let's jump onto another ship and say, like, maybe spend a month on a ship and then make a decision if we're going to spend a year. And so we went on the East Coast. We jumped on a ship and we literally did all of the islands, Western, European, Eastern, and all of the Grand Cayman, Aruba, Curacao. We did
Nice.
Roatan, uh, Bimini. We just did all of the islands, Martinique. So we just kept going around. We did Progresso. We did all these other ones, and we loved it. We loved living on the ship for a month. And so we then found, as they opened up, and then there was an opportunity to do transatlantic and transpacific. And so when the transatlantic opened up, we jumped on the Panama Canal first, went through the Panama Canal, came back into Tampa. From Tampa, we jumped onto a transatlantic and literally went from Tampa to Barcelona, through Bermuda, through the Azores. And then once we were in Barcelona, the trip went all over Europe, all over Western Europe. So we were Spain, Greece, Italy, Germany, France, England. Then we went to Norway and Iceland and Greenland and Scandinavia.
That's a pretty good deal right there.
And I mean, we weren't paying. I mean, it got to a point where, because we were on for so long and the deals that we were getting from all the different things, it was only costing us like maybe $4,000 a month for the two of us.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So then, are you going out and doing other stuff for that? Like, when you get off, like, are there times when you're like, wish you could have stayed longer at this port?
Yeah, of course. But, I mean, you always could. I've been back to different places. It's a great way to just see it the one time and then go back in the future.
Okay. And so when do you just then like take notes like, oh, do you have like a list of places you want to go, or do you, or just in your head, or is it written down somewhere?
Oh no, I have places that I still want to go.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to do the Galapagos Islands. I haven't done that yet.
That sounds fun.
That's one of the things that I intend to do. This trip that I'm doing for Christmas is one that I actually saw this thing. There's irony to going on a Christmas trip, but I saw this like 10 years ago on a travel channel. Yeah. And I had always kind of wanted to do something like this. And so I decided, why not at this point?
Yeah, why not?
And it's going to be, I mean, beautiful this time of year there.
Yeah.
But I want to go up the Nile. There's a riverboat tour up the Nile that I want to do.
Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
Why not? Put it on the fucking list.
Exactly. I mean, if there's something that sounds interesting, I kind of look at it and say, okay, is this someplace I want to try, or who cares if I don't want to try it? I'll still do it. And I can always find something fun to do.
What do you want to do right now that is fun that you can do today?
Today? In Chicago or where?
Yeah, in Chicago. It's 9:54 a.m. there right now on a Thursday.
Considering it's 20 degrees outside. What I want to do today, actually, I wanted to hit up the Christmas market here in Chicago. There is an actual Christmas market here. This evening, I actually want to go to Howl at the Moon. They have a good band performing. And then I was going to stop over at Buddy Guy's and watch one of the bands there.
Okay, that sounds like a good way to do things for today. It's a good Thursday.
Yeah. In the meantime, I do still have to work, so I've got some meetings and things I have to attend to during the day. But I'll probably jump in, also grab some dinner out tonight.
So if people want to work with you, where are they going to find you? How are they going to do that? How's that work?
So Literally, if people want to work with me, a lot of time we do it remotely. But if I'm in a city or they need to see me in person, that's also that makes it easy for me to be here because I can jump onto a train or a plane and hop over to wherever they are, and I can meet them at their office or vice versa.
All right.
Also,
And then
whatever hotels that I stay out, ironically, I get a code from the hotel. So if I ever have clients or vendors or things that need to meet with me, or even my staff, I can give them the code and they get a reduced rate at whatever hotels that I'm at.
oh shit, okay, you got the like a whatever, like
Friends and family discount, basically.
yeah, and you're like an ambassador for the company almost.
Not intentionally, but it
Yeah,
works in my favor. And
yeah,
everyone gets to stay for a lot cheaper.
that sounds pretty awesome.
It's good for
So
business.
yeah, it's good for business, good for everyone. And so yeah, thanks for doing this and talking about. I mean, we ended up talking about whatever for this
Exactly.
amount of time. So I appreciate you doing that, and yeah, I hope that you get out to do that today. And
Yeah, as long as it doesn't start snowing again. It's been snowing on and off here for the last few days.
do they have those? So in some places in Minnesota, especially like at like the around the Mayo Clinic, they had the walkways up above, like that were like going between buildings, and they'd be like above the street level. They have that in Chicago.
There's two of those at the hospitals that go between the hospital wings, I think. But
Okay,
for the most part, we have a pedway that's below ground.
or the underground. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Are
So
there
there
shops down there?
shops and restaurants, coffee shops, and then you can actually catch the subway at the L down there as well.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people are still walking around out today. This weekend, it's going to be ridiculously cold here.
Oh shit.
I think there's one day it's going to be like 6 degrees out here on Saturday, I think. So
Fantastic.
not really. That's going to be awful because it's 6 degrees, but then you forget that we get wind chill factor. It is the
You
windy.
have the fucking lake.
Yep, we get
Yeah.
lake effect,
Yeah,
and
the
so
lake. Yeah.
it's going to probably feel like -10 or -20 here. It's
Beautiful.
going to be
Keep a lot of
absolutely
people out or not outside. So if you want to do any outside activities, good time for it. Less people out. It's
um, what they say. This has been a weird one. The last few years has actually been pretty mild here.
okay.
It's been between 30 and 50 degrees. Like with it, like 1 or 2 weeks, it'll be a polar vortex. It'll be -10 degrees or -20 degrees, whatever, zero
Yeah.
out. But it was a short period of time, and it was never this early in the season. This year, I think the whole country is getting hit pretty hard by this winter.
Whoa.
Uh,
Yeah.
we had them, I guess, in 150 years, they hadn't closed down O'Hare for snow, and they did over Thanksgiving, the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, that made my life miserable because I was trying to get back from California.
Oh,
And
okay.
there goes back to your delays. I was stuck in California for an extra day because they literally canceled 1,000 flights.
Whoa. It's like, all right. Yeah, that sounds nice. So then you got an extra day of warmth.
Yeah, I did. I was staying in LA, and a good part for me is to just continue. I wasn't at the airport when it happened. They canceled my flight before it got there, so I got to just extend my stay at the hotel.
Cool. All right. Okay. Well, thank you again for being on, and appreciating the conversation, and hope you have a rad rest of your day, and wherever your next part of your destination goes, that
I have no idea where I have ended up in everywhere from 1 minute I'll be in California, the next minute I'll be in Kyoto, the next minute I'll be in Bruges, next minute Chicago. I never know.
Yeah.
It's wherever I decide. Sounds good to me.
Beautiful. Well, all right. Well, then, stick with it and keep doing that, and we'll stay in touch then here.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Rusty.
All right. You bet. You can head on out. I'm going to finish this up. So have a good day.
You too.
All right. Well, I cut her off because fuck it. I'm sorry, Jennifer, if you saw that. Maybe you're listening to this. I don't know. I don't know if people go back and listen to it or who listens to this, but if you're at this part of the episode, thank you. Maybe you want to go live in a hotel now and say, fuck, dude, I don't want to live somewhere where I'm not living in a hotel anymore or on a cruise ship or maybe an all-inclusive place. I don't fucking know. You can do whatever you want. Someone stop you. Who's going to stop you? Who? There was a great Emo Phillips joke. I guess you ought to listen. I'm just going to leave it at that. Go back and listen to some Emo Phillips or watch some Emo Phillips. So thank you for being here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. Find me, rustydiamond.net. That'll take you fucking anywhere. I don't want to talk about the rest of the stuff. I just want to say that you can go there. You're already fucking listening. So go there if you want anything I do, because there's a shit ton. And I don't want to fucking rattle it off right now. So that is the show. Man. Boom!
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.